Hello, celestial citizens. I'm Britt Adkins, and this is Continuum. The universe is expanding, and so is the space industry. With all the new announcements, launches, and developments, it can be a lot to keep up with. So we're here to help. And whether you're a space enthusiast or just starting to look up at the stars, we're the outlet providing space news to everyone. Yes, flat earthers will call us fake news, and we wear that badge proudly. So without further ado, here's Continuum. This week, we're joined by our co-host, the incomparable Tony DiBernardo.
Oh, thank you.
We also have a very special guest this week, Tarek Waked. Tarek, thanks for being here. Tarek is a founding partner at Type 1 Ventures and also sits on the board of SpaceForge and Gravitics. And we have a lot of questions for you today, Tarek.
So I have a lot of answers for you.
All right.
Amazing. Also, before we get started, I'd like to extend a really big thank you to our latest sponsors, Copper Moon Coffee, which we are all enjoying
Hear
here.
That? I bet they
Cheers.
can hear it too.
Yeah, you can hear the...
Real good.
And it's 100 degrees outside,
It is.
So it's fitting that we're drinking this.
I do have to say too, just to add to this intro of them, this is not like a standard sponsor. This is my favorite coffee for years. I reached out to them. They agreed that it was a great fit, and now we're drinking it on the show, and we're working with them. It's so fun. And we get to drink more coffee.
It's good coffee.
And if you want coffee or any of this sweet space merch here that Tony and I are sporting, sorry Tarek, we should have brought you one. But but anyway, you can use Celestial20 as a discount code to get 20% off everything on their website. So thank you, Copper Moon. We appreciate you.
Is the moon made of copper?
It is.
It's
Is it?
cheese, right?
Oh, the moon. No,
The
cheese.
moon.
It's
Yeah.
cheese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, where does the Copper Moon name come from? Do you know, Tony? We should have asked.
We should maybe mixing Mars.
How much
and moon.
copper is actually on the moon? Do we know that?
We're supposed to ask you the hard questions.
I probably have a textbook that answers that question, but I don't recall. I know there's obviously silica and a bunch of other things, but copper.
We had access to the World Wide Web at our fingertips.
You guys have the laptops. But anyway,
That's
sorry.
true. Anyways.
I don't
You
want to
can
derail
Google.
the conversation.
I got the.
I'll be
show
the man
notes
in the
here.
chair.
Okay, so let's jump in. So, Tarek, we are excited to talk more about Type 1 Ventures and also just generally share with our audience some of the space investment landscape and how it's looking these days. So I guess to get started, my first question for you is, how did you get interested in space generally? Because I know that you worked in other fields before coming into the space industry. And what inspired you to build Type 1 Ventures?
Yeah, so I was a former founder. Prior to that, I was in finance, but I started my own company. Didn't really understand how the ventures ecosystem is structured, how to position companies and finance companies from an early stage to growth when I built my first company. And so after about 4 years running that company, I decided to go to San Francisco. I started scouting for a different VC fund, and I saw the opportunity of how quickly space was growing. I think one of the things that stuck to me was seeing the amount of satellites that had gone up to space and the amount of people that had gone up to space and the projections that were about to eclipse that. I think annually now we send up more satellites than ever went up from the history of time till 2018 or something like that. So there's a figure there. And so it was like the internet moment. If you ever hear Jeff Bezos speak about when he started Amazon, he drove across the country because he had seen this data on internet usage. And for me, it was the same idea of seeing the space industry grow. And we were starting Type 1 at that time. A lot of the space companies I was looking at, in particular, we looked at Orbit Fab really early on. And he says, look, I'm building gas stations in space. I'm like, oh, I'm brown. I like gas stations. This can work. And we ended up putting a check in there as one of our first investments. We invested in Made in Space. And, if I would have known how hard it is, the first few years of raising the fund, I probably would have not done it. But we got through it. And I guess naivety works in a way to start. But we learned a lot, and we were at the right place at the right time as a team. And now we're very thankful to be able to have an office in London, office here in LA.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we love Orbit Fab. I'm a huge fan of Orbit Fab. But what's kind of the, apart from that, right, what's the overall mission? Tell us about the firm. Tell us about
Yeah.
Type 1 Ventures.
Yeah, so if you know the Kardashev scale, Kardashev scale is this
I know,
theoretical.
sorry.
He also doesn't know Star Trek, so we'll
Oh,
forgive
gosh.
him.
Okay. Hey, I am, listen
Not that
here.
those are related, but just...
Okay, wait, Star
yeah.
Trek or Star Wars? Which one are you guys?
My entire community will hate me if I say Star Wars, but like...
I thought you were Star Trek.
Star Wars? Okay, Tony, don't make it obvious, okay?
You heard it here first. Breaking news across my screen.
I'm a Star Wars guy for sure.
Yeah, I'm a Star Wars guy. Shoot.
Wow,
Look at it.
we're like the
We
dark
lost
side
all of
over
our
here.
followers. I am in recovery, as we covered last episode.
Yeah, at
I'm
least you're
on
trying.
episode 13 of season 1 of Next Generation and really enjoying it. So
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, but back to
Yes.
this important question.
So there's a
Type
guy
1.
named Nikolai Kardashev.
Okay.
He's a Russian astrophysicist. He actually passed away recently. And he created a theoretical scale of how you categorize civilization. So there's a theoretical type 3 civilization and type 4 and beyond. A type 2 would be what you see in Star Wars. Some civilization that theoretically can put a Dyson sphere around its star, harness all of the energy of its star, and then if you see how much energy is harnessed, plus stored and utilized, you can extrapolate the level of technological advance
This
that
is type 2?
civilization has. That's type 2.
type 2.
okay.
A type 1 civilization is a civilization that can harness all of the energy of its planet. Right now we're a 0.7, 0.73 civilization, and we'll probably get to type 1 within 50 to 100 years and a type 2 within 1,000 years.
Okay.
So for us, it was like, okay, we have a 100-year investment thesis that we can break up into 10 years and invest and get, because that's inevitable that we'll get there.
Sure.
Theoretically, it's inevitable we'll get to type 2 as long as we're not wiped out
Right.
and become extinct. So,
Wow.
cue Graham Hancock.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting because obviously type 1 has such a different, I think, sort of like goal and objective versus like other venture capital firms. I mean, there are others that invest in space, but I have to say, I think it's really refreshing that you all have this like very like long-term view, but as you put it, like kind of bringing that back down to like a bite-sized like investment scale for the moment. But, I think it's just really differentiating, from other firms out there.
Thank you. I think, there's amazing firms out there that all do great work, and we work with a lot of them. When it comes to our strategy, we still don't invest in science projects. For us, they have to be, things that you can build a business around, and that's where I think we get really excited when we see a big vision, but there's a business behind it, and there's ways to scale into that business. Take how SpaceX started. If you have a company that comes to you and says, I want to go to Mars, we're like, okay, that's not going to work. But if you say, okay, we're going to build a small rocket, and that small rocket's going to take some stuff that's going to make us some money up to space, and then that next rocket's going to be able to take our own satellites, and we'll make money off that. And with all that technology and talent that we're bringing on to do those small projects, the long-term vision is Mars. So if I like to see companies that have a long-term north, like this could be a huge, 100 billion plus company, and even if they don't reach to that goal, there's still something in between that can make them a very valuable business. And that's how you, I think, move forward a lot of these innovative concepts that were usually just relegated to government. I think that's the cool shift that we're seeing right now in the industry is things that were only for government and big primes now can be done by, non-government.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, one of the aspects of that is budget. When maybe me 10 years ago, a lot of people, when they hear VC, they just think you're in the business to make a ton of money, and that's it. Well, I know yours is different. You guys have a really wicked mission. So tell us about why Type 1 is different, because I really appreciate this.
Yeah, I think when you look at, so you have to understand private equity VC, early stage VC, growth VC, and like the delineations of all of that. For us, we're in it to make money. Like incentives have to be aligned. The people that join these startups are in it to make money. The people that start these startups are in it to make money. Now, is that your primary objective or your secondary objective? For us, we believe that our primary objective will lead to making money.
Right.
That's a product of it. We're not like, okay, we're going to do this because it makes us money. We're going to do this because it's aligned with our overall investment thesis. And because of that, there's a long-term place for that business or whatever it is that's going to progress us forward.
Right.
For us as a VC firm, we take the approach of supporting our portfolio and being hands-on with our portfolio. So most VC firms take their 2% management fee or whatever they make, and they're investors, and they'll put a check in. A lot of VC firms do that.
Yeah.
And some do like we do, where we try to be a little more hands-on, where we spend our time after we make the investment. I have a bigger team than I otherwise would need. And so we have a bigger team that can support our portfolio or select companies in our portfolio that we help them for the first 3-6 months after they join the portfolio, and then they scale and they don't need us anymore, and then they forget about us like kids.
I like how he nods to me as though I would know.
Hey, you're beating me still.
You guys
He's
are the
got 3
parents.
too. Yeah, no, it's
You've
true.
got 4, dude.
I do have a lot.
You had twins, and we're like, let's do this again. Now, let's do it 2 more times.
I think that's like maybe the definition of insanity, but yes. Okay, so Tarek, you already talked about what a type 1 civilization is, but maybe can you share what you think the major drivers or themes or technologies, that we need to get us there?
I mean, long term, so type 1 doesn't only do space. So we look at space and deep tech.
Okay.
And the way we look at deep tech is, space adjacent technologies that could have a benefit on Earth today. So take robotics, automation, advanced semiconductors, advanced energy transfer, batteries, that sort of thing. That falls under the deep tech category. And we also have like a small interest in longevity.
Okay.
So how do we allow humans to live a lot longer? I think Peter Diamandis said this and said, for us to extend our average life expectancy from 80 to 100, it's preventive care. And then you have genetic care that will extend us past 100. And so I think theoretically it's very possible for humans to live a lot longer than 100 years. And when we do that, think about it. You study for 30 years, and then you start to figure out how life works when you're like 40 or 50, and then by the time you're 60, you retire.
Right.
So we spend all of this investment to get our populations up to like productive levels.
And then we have like 10 working years left.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so now imagine if those lifespans were a lot longer, how that would benefit humanity over time. So that's why we look at longevity, for example. The productivity of assets, whether it's farming, whether it's land, whether it's logistics, through robotics and automation, can also aggregate more to the GDP, which means there's more abundance. And with more abundance, you have more free resources for folks to, for the regular person, and then for us to explore beyond Earth, solve all the problems on Earth. If you look at companies in our portfolio of space, we look at in-space manufacturing. You can make a semiconductor made out of diamond. And that semiconductor is more fuel efficient, it charges cars faster, it reduces the energy consumption of electric vehicles. So with that material made in space, you can remove, with I think one mission of Space Forge, you can remove as much CO2 from the atmosphere, expected to produce CO2, than all of the cars on the UK road in 1 year.
Wow.
And so there's actual benefits that impact humanity. This is what we're looking for. And so I think I answered your question, but
Yeah.
it's more so we think that it's not just the rockets. I actually don't want to invest in any more rocket companies because I'm the hat to tell you all.
I was gonna say.
But no, I think launch is overcrowded. So it's like, what do we do when we get to space?
Okay.
What do we do when we're on the moon? When we're on Mars? Like, what are the things that we're going to need there? Granted, those things aren't going to be useful in space today or 5 years from now.
Yeah.
But can we find a terrestrial market to advance that technology so when it's ready to go to space, when launch costs are low enough, when we have a colony on the moon, when we have a colony on Mars, just take that terrestrial technology and place it there.
Okay, I want to ask you this not because I'm accusing you of being like this or doing this, but I think you probably have a really interesting take on it. You mentioned that you guys focus on longevity as part of your portfolio, which is really cool. But as we know, preventative care, for reasons of, we'll throw random words out there like money and politics. It's not going to happen naturally or easily. Why should we be focusing on space to make humans live longer and to make us multiplanetary when we probably should just be focusing on humans that are living right now? Devil's advocate, I have my own opinions, but I want to hear yours.
Yeah, so I think, if I can restate your question, you're saying why spend on space? Like our longevity investments aren't related to space. That's
Right.
just earthly, genetic research,
Right.
Liposomal research, that sort of thing. So let's not put those two together.
Totally.
Over time in the future, they'll probably be together and they'll play off each other. If you look at space investing as it pertains to NASA, I think it's 0.5% of the U.S. budget.
It's about that.
About
still.
0.5%. And I think we spend on military maybe like 30% or some odd percent. I don't know the exact number, but it's in the tens.
They just actually, I think last week they just proposed a 10% uptick in the DoD budget.
Okay.
Fun
And then
times.
what are entitlements in this country? Do you know the figure? I think it's
No.
tens of percents as well.
Okay.
And so if we make the argument that, okay, this irrelevant, minuscule, it looks big on numbers, but as a whole, we shouldn't spend it. There's a lot of things that come from NASA in the 60s and 70s. Your toasters, you guys like toasted bread, your cell phone, the semiconductors. A lot of the innovations that are in everyday products now were originally designed in NASA or through the space industry. Like Silicon Valley was born out of the space industry. So there's a NASA study that said during the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, for every dollar the government spent, there's a return to the general populace of 40 to 1 or 7 to 1, depending on the year.
Government spend, not in general, you mean NASA specifically?
NASA-specific expenditures. And so, sure, you're not going to see that dollar spent is going to solve somebody's direct need today, but we should be investing in the future. We should be looking for a brighter future as opposed to saying, let's just put out the fires of today. We are aware that there's a lot of problems in the world, but there's less problems in the world today than there was 100 years ago, and there was 500 years ago.
Sure.
And so for us to look long term, we want to say, what do we need to make 100 years from now better? And throughout, things are,
And there are companies working on today.
Correct.
And you're choosing to work on that.
And the space companies, like the space entrepreneurs, all the people who worked for NASA throughout the years, like everyone stands on the shoulders of giants for every other generation. So for us to make the argument that there's all these problems on Earth, we shouldn't try to make the future better is not something I buy.
And you talk a lot about humanity becoming interplanetary. So how do you see that transition happening from Earth to Moon to Mars, and in what sort of timescales?
So if you look at the migration from the old world to the new world, meaning Europe to America, I think it'll be very similar. There'll be a lot of similarities. It'll rhyme. History never repeats itself, it rhymes. I think what we have to look for is the cost of launch coming down, continuing to come down, which will open up economic opportunities for people to go. Mm-hmm. Why do people move from, Europe, Ireland, the Middle East, to the U.S., to North and South America? Because there was economic opportunities. Why did people move from the East Coast to California when there was like 100 people living out in California at the time? Because there was a gold rush.
Right.
And then actually Arizona and New Mexico became states after California. You would think that they would have become before.
Sure.
But that's
But
because
they just came straight to California.
because there was a gold rush.
Sure.
There was an economic incentive. And so as the economic incentives of space continue to align, granted, the first tens of hundreds of people will be scientists, very specialized roles to set up those colonies, probably backed by government. Look at Artemis and all these things that are happening.
People that built the railroads out here, the people that made the infrastructure to get there.
But then at some point you'll have, somebody that wants to open up a restaurant. Like we're talking 10, 25, 30 years from now. But I do think that that's going to happen and it's inevitable. So what can we invest in along that trend line that is going to make that goal more achievable? And
How long after the moon do you think we're actually going to start having any sort of real cadence of people going to Mars?
Didn't you just tweet this or
I did.
respond to a tweet?
I actually tweeted it. And then somebody made a poll, and I think I gave an exact date when I think it'll happen.
I made a really disappointing answer, but I want you to.
We're not friends anymore.
We'll get there.
Okay, so let's take, you have the home and transfer orbit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's every 2.2 years. I believe you have to send so first you have to see the milestones.
Yeah.
You have Starship. When does Starship go orbital? When does Starship get up to a cadence where it's reusable? When does Starship get to the ability to land on Mars? And so depending on how fast they hit those milestones, you could say 2029, 2031, 2033, and so on. And so I think it'll for sure happen in the 2030s, but my aggressive, over-optimistic self, because that's what VCs are, says 2029
To get a human.
to get the first non-human flight.
Okay.
I think 2039, 31, we get the first humans. Because the first Starship that goes is going to be the supplies for the colony. It'll land. I mean, you could read the Case for Mars.
so
Robert
good.
Zubrin really talks well about the Mars Direct.
Yeah.
They have to, but SpaceX has to figure out refueling a Starship in orbit. I think those things will happen in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm very bullish on their ability to do that. We're investors in SpaceX. I think SpaceX will be the most valuable company of our generation. And so you have to refuel Starship in orbit, then you have to send a Starship with supplies to Mars. You have to land that Starship on Mars. You have to then take the atmosphere, the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, to create your own fuel for the return flight, and then you launch humans.
Which
And
is technology they're already testing. NASA's already testing there, which is great.
yeah, like Lunar Outpost
Yeah.
created the Moxie. We invested in Lunar Outpost. They invented Moxie, which actually created oxygen
Yeah.
So, and speaking
on the surface of Mars.
Yeah.
speaking of SpaceX,
Which
do you
you're
thi-
not really a fan of, right?
What?
SpaceX.
I'm not, but I like John Tucker, that movie.
Yeah.
Remember?
John Tucker Must
Yeah,
Die.
I don't know why. No, not the. What's that movie that the guy went to Mars? He was like in the John Carter.
Oh, I
yes.
was like, John Tucker.
John
must
Tucker.
die.
I don't know where
I was
it
like,
came
that
from.
had space
You're gonna do
in it?
really well in
That
this
is the
trivia.
biggest heartbreak. John Carter not having a sequel is the biggest heartbreak of
I never saw
our
John
generation.
Carter.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, it's really
so good.
fun.
It is
It's
so,
so
good.
good.
But
Okay.
they didn't make any more. It flopped.
No.
Wow.
Let's bring that back.
Back on SpaceX. So just to roll this on back, do you think SpaceX is going to go public anytime soon, or do you think they're going to stay private indefinitely?
I mean, you can look at what Elon has said. He'll keep it private until they reach Mars. But
That's what he has said pretty explicitly.
very explicitly.
Okay.
Because if you're a public company, you have to report to shareholders every 3 months. If you're a private company, you have longer time horizons. So the sooner you go public, the sooner you have to report on earnings and all these things. And maybe you're working on a long-term project, say Starship, that is going to be a loss leader in your company. You're going to spend all this money. Do you want the public shareholders to look at that and really negatively impact your share price, which then negatively impacts your hiring,
God
your
forbid somebody
fundraising?
dies or something like that. All that.
So it's in their best interest if their long-term mission is to go to Mars, and they don't need to go public.
Yeah.
There's so much demand to invest in SpaceX, even at $150 billion valuation.
Okay.
I would personally continue investing in SpaceX up to like $500 trillion valuation. Like I still think it's an amazing investment today, not knowing what they're going to do and when it reaches that valuation. If you look at the comparatives, I think Dutch East India Company was the closest comparison, and that was a $7 trillion company adjusted for inflation.
Holy cow.
Wow, I had not heard that before.
Neither have I.
That's interesting.
Quote me.
Will do.
Wow. So yeah, that's really interesting. Well, and I guess we'll see. I mean, obviously, like I know with Starlink too, everything happening there. I mean, seems like SpaceX is really well positioned to just keep chugging along the way that they are. But
I mean, back to what you said before is like, how does space impact humanity? Like that's a positive impact, getting internet to everybody in the world.
Yeah.
Like 100 years ago, to get an education, you had to be, 1% of 1% to go to any university. Now anybody can access information just with a cheap cell phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Education is
Free
key.
education.
Free education. I learned everything on YouTube that I know.
you must have been watching our channel.
Yeah, that's ding. Sorry, had to.
Okay.
I did. I watched your
Yeah,
channel.
okay.
I Continuum to watch your
Did you hear
channel.
that? He did.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the Type 1 companies. Any big highlights or any news or updates that you can share with us here?
Yeah,
Or
you mentioned OrbitFab and SpaceX, but I'm really curious about some of the other ones too.
So I'll just do like quick fire of some of the stuff we've done. I don't know what I can share that's not, because I think I don't want to overstep any of the founders and share their thunder before they announce it or
Sure.
get in trouble.
Yeah.
Actually, feel free.
Yeah, if you did,
it's
that'd be
really
fine.
on the show, preferably
Yeah.
into the mic as close as you can.
Exclusives.
It depends.
Why
what-
do we keep drinking coffee at the same time?
Get out of here.
It's so weird.
So we did Gravitics. Gravitics is a space station components manufacturer. They build, the ISS was built by Thales Alenia, essentially. All the HABs, all the pressurized vessels, all the modules is what you call them, was built by primarily one company. Like the Japanese Space Agency made the JAXA module as well. But all of those modules were built for old generation launch vehicles, which were really tight on weight. So you're climbing Everest, you got to make sure all the weight that you have in your backpack is, specifically needed. And so those modules are built with something called ISOGrid, meaning you build the module and then you remove as much weight as you can, bringing down its safety factor. Now we don't have that problem because there's new, more powerful launch vehicles of today. So Gravitics said, we're going to build modules for Falcon, for Starship, for New Glenn, for all the next generation launch vehicles, and we will supply those to all the space station operators like Axiom, Blue Origin, Voyager,
Interesting.
individual sovereigns that'll be able to build their own space station. I see a future where countries will have their own space stations, private corporations will have their own space stations, and that future is a future where SpaceX brings down the cost per human to go to space dramatically. And so when you bring that cost down, where do the humans go? And so that's Gravitics.
Very cool.
Lunar Outpost, they are building hardware that can withstand the lunar night, so lunar rovers.
The map rover.
Yeah.
I'm
But
excited
then
about that
if
one.
you can build a rover that's good enough to withstand the lunar night, you can use that on Earth.
Yeah, that's true.
So now they have, I think they have tens of millions in revenue from terrestrial business that
Wow.
advances their space business.
Wow.
And it's terrestrial business that actually improves, like for example, if you want to see a methane leak at an oil plant.
That's a lot of sensors, right?
Yeah, like figuring that stuff out, and you're saving the climate in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that really love those guys. Justin Cyrus is amazing.
He's actually also been on Celestial Citizen
He has.
podcast season 2, I want to say.
I'm
Justin
gonna-
and I went to Colorado School of Mines together,
Oh.
which is also a sponsor of our show. So
Of course, gotta get the plug.
yeah,
Gotta plug it.
thanks Colorado School of Mines, Space Resources, I should add. Yeah,
Well, he's doing well.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then on the non-space side, we've done this company called, it used to be called Haloti, and now it's called 1X. If you're listening to me, I don't really like the name because I want more than 1X. But they're awesome. They have a humanoid robot that, for example, ADT works with them, and it enhances the security guards in
Whoa.
their corporation. And so they're doing really well. I don't know if I can say this.
Say it.
You can say it, and
Yeah.
I can easily cut it if you want.
We're
Okay,
like,
yeah,
we
so
can keep a secret.
I won't publish
So
it.
OpenAI, Sam Altman, who
Yeah.
led the round, and we invested. And I think there's a real interesting case of having an AI company, and then you have the humanoid robot company, and then they pair together. And I think that's where this one's going.
Interesting.
So we're really excited about them. They're based out of Finland, Sweden.
I don't know
One of
where
those.
OpenAI is.
One of the
Yeah.
one of the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah.
So really excited about them. We did this company called Averna. So you guys ever use Drano or Mr. Clean?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is like Drano for your
Sure Kyle
cell.
does.
For your what?
For your cell.
Like your body.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
What?
So Averna,
Drano. No?
is that the commercial?
That's the thing. That's the quip. Yeah.
Anyway, you may have to cut this, but
Okay.
essentially what
not
it
busy
does is you have a lysosomal. You know what a mitochondria is, right?
Yeah.
That's an organelle.
Powerhouse, baby.
Okay, cool. Powerhouse of the cell. Then you have the lysosome. The lysosome is your garbage disposal of the cell. As you get older, that lysosome becomes less acidic. When it's less acidic, it can process waste less effectively.
Okay.
So as you get
Yeah,
older,
while you're more hungover.
yes, it's really
Well,
bad.
I mean, just
One
saying,
glass of
yeah,
wine,
theoretically.
and I'm done for 3 days.
Wow.
It's really
That's
bad.
aggressive.
It's really
That's even worse
bad.
than
I think I probably got to see a doctor. Or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kidding. It's not that bad. I like to exaggerate. But yeah, why?
Well,
Don't
glass
even
of
get me
wine,
started
I'm
on
just-
tequila.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah, unless we have a tequila sponsor.
He
No,
knows
I
what I'm
just
talking about.
I still mess with it and I just deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. So a lysosome removes the waste from your cell. So when a cell dies, the other cell's lysosome can clear out the waste.
Okay.
When you get older, you can't do it as effectively. So then
Yeah.
fatty liver disease, Alzheimer's, a lot of these things are caused by lysosomal dysfunction.
Okay.
And so Averna is targeting to reacidify the lysosome into old age, effectively processing waste more effectively, which could have a longevity effect.
Wait, I don't. People in LA are taking bovine colostrum now. Have you heard about this?
I don't know what
What?
that is. What?
Yeah,
Like
bov-
bovine, like a
Yeah,
like a beef.
he's heard about it. Bovine colostrum. It's like,
Isn't
do you know
bovine
what
like a cow?
colostrum is? I feel like this could be a real education. here
Colostrum
on-
is
You know what? Let's not go into it.
yeah, it's just really good for
It's
babies
like-
in their first couple weeks of life.
So anyway, the point is like you can get it off cows, and
Oh, that's why it's
humans
bovine.
in LA are taking it, and apparently it like makes you young. It's anti-aging. Like you're glowing.
Wait,
and,
something
that
is
what-
anti-aging and people in LA are interested in it?
yeah, I know it's shocking, right?
Is that why everybody's lips in LA are just like?
They're just like signs. Yeah.
It must be. Yeah, it has nothing to
It's
do with
not-
all
it's-
those
that has nothing-
needles.
okay,
yeah.
got it.
No.
That's
so,
just Botox.
anyway.
Oh, wait, we love
this
LA.
Sounds,
God, love
yeah,
LA.
Yeah. No, just like.
We may need to cut a lot of stuff out of there.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. Well, do you have any other questions for Tarek? Because I have quite the fun segments.
Let's get into
planned
the
here.
fun stuff. This was awesome. Those
Yeah.
were.
Good.
Yeah, I feel like we learned a lot here.
Or I
for
guess,
people.
is there anything that you are really pumped about that we didn't get a chance to ask about yet?
Good question, Tony.
Argo Space. So I love those guys. They're here in LA. And so Argo, what they're doing is they're going to the moon and taking up the top layer regolith, and then extracting the water from the moon, and then using that water for propulsion
Right.
for their like
Hydrogen, oxygen.
Correct. Water is the oil of space. Water is the most abundant thing in our solar system. So it only makes sense to use in situ resources for the future exploration, the future like tugs, moving things around from the moon's surface, et cetera. So these guys are, three former SpaceX team members. They're all brothers. They're the Carlisle brothers.
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
yeah.
love those
I've
guys.
heard, oh
Love-
yeah, there's 3 of them or 4 of them.
Yeah, there's one that has the name of a Pokemon. His name is Kirby.
What?
That's a Pokemon,
Kirby.
right?
No, it's
Kirby's.
not.
Is it?
No, it's
I don't know. I'm not a Pokemon.
Maybe after
Oh
first
no,
gen.
it is
It
actually.
is, right?
It's the pink thing. No,
Yeah,
that's
it's like
Jigglypuff.
okay.
Kirby
well,
has his
anyway,
own show.
I
Anyway,
love Kirby.
it's
Kirby's
okay.
the man.
In Super Smash, you choose Kirby.
Okay, yes, he's really good in Super Smash. I hope we're gonna tag him in this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
And then
do it.
Robert and Ryan, they're great.
Okay.
We led their pre-seed round. They're
Cool.
doing incredibly well.
Wow.
They just got a NASA or Air Force contract.
Cool.
Nice.
Really excited. Boost VC did that investment with us, and really keep an eye on those guys.
Argo
Yeah.
Space. Okay.
Right.
Argo Space.
I
Very
like
cool.
the name.
I know.
It's a good name.
It is.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we've gotten the people here to like you quite a bit, and that's about to change in this next segment.
Maybe
Somebody likes me.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Slide in the DMs if you do.
you probably will get some like DMs after this
Right.
episode,
All
or like
for
on
entertainment.
YouTube. There will be some people. Oh well, I don't know. Our YouTube audience is pretty heavily male right now.
Okay, don't.
But no,
the most
actually,
entertaining outcome is the most
Didn't
probable,
we talk
right?
about this on the
Yes,
show
yeah.
where we were like, if there was a dating app for people who are like obsessed with space, like you don't even have to work in the space industry, but you just have to have a mindset about space.
Right.
I bet like people would. They have like farmers.com or like they have a dating app
Okay,
for farmers.
let's not bring that here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That is a horrible
You could
idea.
be like the test case. You could be like the first.
The commercial Type
Yeah.
1 Ventures presents
Be like, you can meet Tarek.
Meet in Space.
Okay. no. The only reason I'm investing in space is because my ex asked me for space, so here I am.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay, roll the commercial, and then
that's
we'll.
a good one. All
Anyway,
right.
wow. On that note, this cold brew is fantastic,
It's
Britt.
so
Really,
good.
really
Thank
good.
you again, Copper Moon Coffee. Also, all of our sponsors, Colorado School of Mines, Space Resources.
Don't forget the middle
again.
names,
I
come
know
on.
there's so many names. Explore
to
Mars,
Mars.
Multiverse Media. Thank you. We appreciate you. And anybody else who wants to sponsor us, let us know. Okay, so in this next segment, we're gonna do Kiss, Marry, Kill Space Edition. All right, Star Wars, Star Trek, or Guardians of the Galaxy?
Kiss, marry, kill.
Ooh, definitely kill Star Trek.
Yeah.
Wait, why? Why?
I'll go into it later.
Okay, okay.
He's got to pick one.
He's got to pick
I
one.
would kiss, marry, kill, right?
Yeah.
I would kiss Star Wars and I would marry Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, why?
Oh,
Yeah.
Give us a little reason as to one of them.
I know why.
Have you ever heard of Star Trek being like, if you like Star Trek, you're politically lean left,
Yes.
and if you like Star Wars, you politically lean right?
That's not true in my case.
I've heard it, but yes.
Okay, well,
Just
I
wanna
just
really
like Star
clarify
Wars. Star Wars a lot better. I just find it. I find Star Trek as like, I love it, but if I had to pick between Star Wars and Star Trek,
Sure.
I'd pick Star Wars.
Yeah. No.
So I thought you were gonna say. So Guardians of the Galaxy, it's the music, right?
Oh, amazing! Volume
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
full playlist.
Oh yeah, very good.
It's like, see, I've thought about this. Like you. So
What would
actually,
you kill?
I'm gonna get in trouble here.
You guys remember LimeWire?
Oh, do I
Yeah.
remember LimeWire?
That was the thing.
LimeWire.
Got so many
what
viruses
was
on
the
my computer.
precursor
It was
to
Kazaa.
Spotify.
Kazaa.
Also, do you remember that?
Precursor to Spotify?
Yeah. It was like something orange. Groove Shark.
You guys remember?
Yes!
Oh.
You guys remember Pandora?
Yes, I do. I hated
Pandora.
How about
it.
Kazaa? Remember Kazaa?
Kazaa.
That was before LimeWire. That was good stuff.
I don't know.
Tim
Kazaa.
remembers Kazaa.
Yikes.
World.
Okay.
The Gen Zers are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, they'll just
Can I say
appreciate
that?
us for
You can say whatever
antiquity.
you want.
Okay.
That's why I like to say to people, I'm like, you know what, you need to respect me. I was born in the 1900s. Have you heard that joke?
Yeah, I was born in the late 1900s.
said
Actually,
every
I
joke.
would love.
See, he's
I
like-
would love to be born in 2000 because you never have to remember your age.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like the other day,
That's true.
my birthday's in April, and when my birthday was coming up, somebody asked me how old I was, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder how." And I said 33, and I'm 32, or I was turning 32. I was 31, so I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know. It was the first year I didn't know how old I was, so I had to go to like Google. I was like, calculate my age.
Wait, if I was born on this day.
Yeah, I like, had to calculate my age, and I typed it in, and they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna be 32." I was like, "Oh, nice."
See, I can always remember mine because it's like 90.
Easy.
So it's easy. Yeah, but 2000 would be easier.
Easier.
For sure.
If you're born in 2000, you're 23.
Okay, we're moving on, mostly because I don't want to have to answer that question.
Okay,
So,
fine.
SLS, Saturn 1, or Starship?
Ooh, I would definitely marry Starship.
I figured.
We're gonna
For
just
the
post
hat.
that with no context.
Size.
Where are you
guys,
going on your
guys,
honeymoon?
Guys. Guys, size matters.
Oh man.
Oh,
So
this
you
is
like
an
them super heavy then,
uncomfortable
don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
okay.
thicker the better. For rockets, that is.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my
Of
God,
course.
my mom watches
Hi, Mom.
Okay.
Interstellar, The Martian, or Gravity?
Ooh.
Kiss, marry, kill.
Okay. How much money have we spent rescuing Matt Damon from places?
I know.
Too
Like,
much.
Honestly,
Don't like Matt Damon.
Saving Private Ryan. What is it? The Martian, Interstellar as well. He went
was a
crazy in
jerk
that
in
one.
Interstellar.
I couldn't enjoy The Martian as much as I wanted to because I saw Interstellar first. And he was a
Really?
jerk. And then
Although
I saw
I think
Martian.
he does invest in startups. So, like Matt Damon, if you're watching this, I actually like you.
But your characters.
Yeah, your characters are.
You play a really good villain, which means you're a great guy, right?
He's
That's what
really
they say.
interested in water.
loved Good Will
too.
Hunting. That was
Maybe
good.
he'd be interested
I'm
in
also
lunar
very
water.
interested in water.
Anyway, so to marry, I would probably marry Interstellar.
Okay.
What was the other one?
Gravity, Martian.
Kill Gravity, and I'll kiss Martian.
Okay. I
Oh
feel
my
like I'm
God,
the same
totally.
way.
Well, actually, I don't know. I think I would kiss Interstellar. Maybe. The Martian has good music.
I feel like The Martian's more realistic and
feel like that's
Interstellar's
my
more theoretical, so maybe it's just a fling with Interstellar. I don't know. I think he wants to marry it, see where it goes.
That's a good point.
All right,
Okay.
next.
Elon. Oh.
That relationship would be out of this world.
I forget you
There it
have
is.
these.
Can I do one?
I legitimately
I
forgot
have
you had
nothing.
these.
There's literally nothing
no,
on
go
my
for
screen.
It. Go for it, my friend. Go for it.
Elon, Jeff, or Branson.
Okay, they're all dudes, and
You still have to answer.
Okay, kiss, marry, kill their space efforts. Yeah?
yeah, that's better.
No.
No. Okay.
No, the question stands.
It's
All right,
2023.
all right,
We can ask this.
Okay, so
Elon's gonna be a fighter soon. He might fight in Las Vegas pretty soon.
honestly, on that fight, Elon just has to sit on Mark Zuckerberg and he wins. He's 6'1", 100. He's built like a
Mark
like.
has been.
Mark
he's
is
been
5'7".
working
Have you ever
out.
seen like a 5'7" guy versus 6'1"?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Is
tough.
Elon 6'1"?
So Elon's
6'1".
a big guy.
You know who's looking pretty stacked these days?
Oh God, SLS. That's what you better say. Something.
Jeff Bezos, like he's like.
Oh, he's
really-
been. He's always been.
He's been really working. No, not he has
Not
not
always,
been.
but-
I mean, but he's definitely like working. I mean, he's not. No offense. I shouldn't say.
I'm
this.
gonna-
He's
I'm gonna-
not attractive.
Can we go to the next question?
We should have asked her, Elon, Jeff Branson. Why don't you answer
Yeah,
that one?
you
Elon,
answer
Jeff, or
this
Branson?
one.
not answer.
You're married.
This is my show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have to answer these questions because also they would for sure get me canceled with my community. So we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip these questions. Am I gonna get canceled on anything I said today?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Everything? Okay.
Is this bad?
Tracking it, I've already posted it on Twitter.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
That's a fear of mine.
I can't believe you just threw that one back on me. Rocket Man, Space Oddity, or Supernova Girl?
Those-
This is the test.
This
These
song.
are
Songs.
the songs.
I only know Rocket Man.
Space
You
Oddity.
don't know Space Oddity?
You know it.
If I hear it, I probably know.
Ground Control to Major Tom.
Okay.
Supernova Girl's not the obvious.
It's a
Okay.
deep
Kiss
cut,
that one,
okay.
and then marry Rocket Man.
Okay.
And
I'm-
I don't know the other one, so.
Supernova, you're gonna kill Supernova Girl?
I don't. If you could play it for me, I would.
Can we play Supernova Girl?
I can.
Tim's like, no. Britt,
I can play a bad version.
Don't
of
make
it.
these requests.
2 seconds, I got it.
All right.
Okay.
So did you? Yeah, you're a child of the '90s. Like, okay, did you watch the Disney Channel?
I grew up in Latin America. We didn't have that
Whoa.
So this is gonna be really shocking.
in the 90s. I moved
you.
to the U.S. in 2000. So
Okay, well, it would have been on reruns, maybe. Xenon Girl of the 21st Century.
I've seen it. I don't remember it.
So Protozoa, talk about a heartthrob. Like,
Talk
what
about
girl
stacked.
was not into Protozoa?
What
Okay.
guy wasn't into Protozoa?
Oh.
No? Cool.
Oh wait, what?
What? No. Okay.
So I'm gonna play Supernova Girl.
Okay.
This is the remix.
Remix.
Oh, there's a remix.
Never heard this song.
Yeah, neither have I.
We want the original?
Original. Yeah,
Yeah.
original.
This feels like a bar
It's
in
fine.
Germany.
It'll get you there.
It's like a
Mic-
bar in Mass Effect or
So
something
this
like that.
is
Okay, definitely kill this one.
Yeah, that's true.
This is gone.
I would kill the remix too, to be fair.
This
Yeah, the remix is bad. That's
Okay.
terrible.
the Xenon Z3 and so like that. Supernova Girl.
It's from the Z1.
Z1.
I mean, obviously. What was Tim doing in the 90s?
Yeah, why is this?
Tim was
Going to
listening to the
college.
Beastie Boys.
Why is this the Beastie Boys? Like anything else?
all right. Let's
No,
go
okay,
to the next
we're moving
one.
on. We're moving on. Okay.
Next one. Kiss,
ahead.
Marry, Kill. Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, or I'm gonna let you take this.
Michio Keiko.
Michio Keiko.
I'm not gonna answer that.
Okay.
Is Carl Sagan still alive?
He's not.
No.
Okay, so you can't kill him.
Shoot. How did he
He's-
find that
he's-
loophole?
These are
I didn't even think about that.
hypotheticals.
He's actually
He's
timeless.
He is timeless.
I would say like he's dead, so I'm gonna say I'd marry him.
All right.
No
respect
repercussion.
that.
Yeah,
The other
I
two
think
are
that's
still.
a loophole.
Yeah, that is a loophole.
All right. Black holes, asteroids, exoplanets.
Black holes, asteroids, exoplanets. Oof. Okay. I'm gonna. Sorry, just something came to my mind, and I'm not gonna say it. Out loud. Which exoplanet?
Wait, what?
Never mind. Never mind.
We'll give you all 7 Trappist planets.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. The third one or fourth one's probably habitable.
We'll see.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
hopefully the data will come out
If
this
we
year.
live forever. maybe we'll
Tidally
see.
locked, though.
Yeah.
Just don't cross the line. You know, anyway.
Yeah. You like the beach, so you'll like the sun side.
That's true. I do.
Yeah, that's true.
So wait, I have to kiss, marry, kill an asteroid.
Yeah.
Asteroid, black hole, exoplanet.
I feel like this is really clear cut, this one.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
opinions
but it's
about
just
this.
logistically it doesn't work.
Yeah, because we were really concerned with logistics when we wrote them.
You definitely kill a black
What is,
hole,
like-
guys. Like, you don't want to, like, leave it looming out there. It's just going to suck
Okay,
you
so
up.
have you guys ever seen Guardians of the Galaxy? Marrying an exoplanet is like marrying what's the guy that made
The
Peter
guy.
Quill's dad?
Yeah.
And that was a bad story.
Oh.
So you never want to marry or kiss that guy. So you definitely kill the planet because then you become like
Okay.
he's probably an egomaniac celestial.
All right, so we'll kill the exoplanet.
Marry asteroids, for sure. You can
What?
get diamonds off asteroids. It's like...
Is that what you want out of your marriage?
And look, okay, so, and you
I
probably
want a
doesn't-
marriage I can
it
never escape
doesn't
from.
hurt.
yeah, and exactly. So a black hole you definitely marry because it's very like aligned. You like you said, yeah.
It's super
You are.
attractive.
It drags you in and you can never get out.
Yeah. But it'll
And-
also
and-
suck all the light out
That
of you.
sounds a little bitter.
You are the married ones, okay? So I didn't say it.
Yeah, not my
don't
marriage.
cancel
I don't know
me.
what you're talking
It's
about.
them.
Tony, yeah. Anyway, don't you get into
I'm just-
trouble. Kyle already anticipates that I'm going to say some...
And then you kiss the asteroid
Kiss the
because
asteroid.
it doesn't have that much gravity.
So you can say kiss my asteroid. No.
Oh.
I don't know. I
That
don't
was a good
know.
one.
I've been known to have a couple. That's a good tucked away.
All right. We got to move through some of these for time.
Okay.
So let's see.
Ooh, this one I'm really interested in.
You do it.
Okay, I'm stealing all of them.
Don't steal that one.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
NASA, ESA, SpaceX.
Okay, you kill Issa.
Oh, my heart.
ESA has a great
something has to be
Threads
done.
account. I will say.
Well, they're.
We've
I really
been-
like them.
yeah.
on
I'm
social
team
media.
Twitter. Sorry.
For now.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
But ESA, you probably marry SpaceX and you probably kiss NASA.
Marry SpaceX.
Kiss NASA. And just like in how good they are, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Just like in your opinion, how much you like each
their
one.
space, like I'm not going to kiss SpaceX.
Right.
It's just a big rocket. You don't kiss a big rocket.
I don't know.
All right.
Your words, not mine.
Last one, then we're going on to the next segment.
All right.
Okay.
Space Capital, Seraphim, or Starburst?
Pass.
Okay.
I figured he wasn't gonna.
Okay. I'll do one more. Expanse, Battlestar Galactica, For All Mankind.
Haven't watched any of them.
Whoa.
Okay,
Really?
so that's okay.
No, it is
because
okay. I'm just.
Bailey,
This is
Bailey
exciting.
Burns
I know
and
one of the women that stars in Expanse.
So you can catch up on For All
forgot her name.
Mankind by watching The Celestial
Nadine.
Citizen
I know
YouTube
Nadine.
channel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
we were in
cool.
Space for Humanity together.
Nice.
We
Oh,
went to
nice.
the weekend last year. She's awesome.
Very cool.
Met her once.
So
I haven't
you
watched the
definitely need to catch
All three of those
up.
are worth a watch.
Yeah.
I heard.
If you're gonna be on a long flight soon, I don't know, listening to an audiobook while
Maybe,
you're running
maybe.
extreme cold.
Okay, we're doing NASA fact or fiction next. We got to do these fast because we got a lot to get through here. Tara.
So what am I
Okay.
supposed to do here?
Yeah, so what
You
is-
have to say whether you think it's fact or fiction.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something. Okay. In 2004, NASA partnered with swimwear giant Speedo.
Fiction.
Fact.
Well, it's finished.
NASA
just heard
partnered
Speedo
with
and
swimwear
NASA.
giant Speedo to help design a new swimsuit with reduced drag.
Did you hear that? They partnered with a giant Speedo. You
Was
said it.
Was it Starship? Was it made for Starship?
What was it made for? Do you
I
know?
don't. It's for swimming. I don't know
Wait,
why
so
this
that
is so
NASA made a
confusing.
Speedo
Yeah,
for
they like
Michael
partnered
Phelps?
with Speedo,
Oh.
Speedo to do for reduced drag for swimmers, so they swim faster.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Jeff Bezos wears lucky boots to prevent failure during every Blue Origin rocket launch.
That's obviously fiction.
Fact.
You and I are just.
Well, they're not lucky.
Oh.
The peanuts are real though. The peanuts are super real.
Okay, next one. I'm working on a documentary about the space industry that covers the seedy underworld of black market space artifacts.
Fiction.
Fiction.
Nice.
Okay, the crew of
That was
Skylab.
too much of a mouthful.
Yeah, it was a little too much.
I had to like think about that one. I don't do a lot of thinking, so you got me to think.
I didn't sell that one.
But if you're
well.
interested
I
in
did.
investing, it sounds like a great documentary. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. The crew of Skylab 4 went on strike in 1974 because of the demanding schedule that NASA had set for them.
In space? Mm-hmm.
They just went on strike.
Just went outside the fucking.
Watch the Earth float around. Yeah.
Like basically they stayed in, but they're like not going to do any work.
That's a fact.
It is. It is a fact. Tony just started watching Star Wars last month.
That's a fact.
Star Trek. It's fiction.
Ah, you got me.
Gotcha.
Caught him. Okay. NASA has a chief sniffer named George, and he sniffs everything that NASA plans to send to space.
George
George.
of the Jungle. That's a
Strong
fiction.
as he can be.
It's fiction.
That's a
No,
fact.
it's fact.
That's a fact.
It's one of my favorite
It's a
clips
fact.
of him sniffing. It's
What happens?
fantastic.
He's only lives for 10 years. NASA's been around for a long time. So has been there multiple Georges? Like George the
He's been there for
first,
like
George
30
the
some
second.
years.
It's been a while.
Yeah, he's still there, I think.
Oh, George is a person. I thought
George
it
is
was
a person.
George.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was a dog.
No, sniffer.
Because you say sniffer, like the guys at the
No,
at
it's
the
just
airport.
like a dude that like
Could you imagine
sniffs
if you
everything.
went? Could you imagine if you went to the airport when they have the dog walking around to see if you have any drugs, and it's just like a guy named George like sniffing you?
Well, maybe in retirement.
So that's why I didn't think it was a human. That,
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
It's
Okay,
a real
yeah.
guy, and he's a
That's-
sniffer, and he
and
sniffs
it's that's a
everything.
very
a real
subjective
guy.
thing. It's like the guy can say, "Oh, look."
That's why it has to be him always, because
Yeah.
his smell
'Cause he
doesn't
can-
change.
But he can lie to you.
Yeah,
but would
It's
he?
subjective
Oh,
because
this
it's
is
okay. Never mind.
poor
Go on.
George. His character assassination.
I'm just
right now.
thinking of logistically. There's probably a better way to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Elon Musk turned his house into a nightclub to pay for rent.
True fact.
That is fact. I host a monthly space rave in Pasadena that's invite only.
That's a fiction. You have 4 kids.
Dang it.
Or is it?
What-
It's
tell him after,
fiction.
tell him
okay, yeah,
Just
you
talk
have 4
about it
kids.
after.
I would've
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Moving on. Next segment. Okay, it's truth or dare.
Okay.
Okay, so you can hear the truth and the dare and then pick which one, okay? Craziest business pitch you've ever heard, or call the first contact in your phone who works in the space industry right now on the show.
Could we cut it if it says anything bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have your word for that? All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm the editor.
Okay,
And
we're gonna-
if it's real bad, we'll just do the craziest pitch you've ever heard.
Okay.
Not the craziest.
I'm going to do dare,
Okay.
Okay.
and we're going to call Phil Sakulo.
Okay. Give us a background of
Yeah,
Phil
who's
Sakulo.
Phil?
Phil is the head of human spaceflight sales at SpaceX, and he was trying to sell me a space flight to go to space myself. If he answers.
Will you tell him you have 2 customers?
Can I marry SpaceX?
He's a fun guy. He'll answer the phone like, Phil Sakulo, how can I send you to space?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's pretty good if he answers.
We need him to pick up.
Oh man, no. Anyway,
You did the dare.
Yeah,
the
you
dare.
did it.
I
You
did
did
it.
it.
He
Take
didn't
it.
pick up.
We'll take it.
All right. Thing you like least about the space industry, or sing your favorite space song.
I don't sing.
Cool. So there should be no shame if it's bad, right?
Yeah.
Not happening. This is only coffee. It doesn't have any alcohol in it. I would say the thing I don't like about the space industry, historically, it's been very closed off to outsiders. And when we came in, we weren't space people. We didn't come from NASA. We just were people that wanted to invest in the industry. It tends to be closed off, and it's changing. But when it's like a college party that doesn't allow new people to show up, and all the friends know each other, but there's like a few cliques, like these people don't like each other and these people don't like each other and they don't get along, and that's it. And because they've been in the industry for 20, 30 years.
Sure.
I think it's changing, but that's what I don't like about the industry, that it's very like this is ours.
Yeah. No,
You
I
can't have
agree
it.
with that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right, you want to take the last one?
I'm
Aaron?
excited to see what he'll choose for this one. Okay. Who's the biggest ego in the space community, besides Britt, that's not a billionaire? Or tweet out that Continuum podcast is the greatest of all time.
You chose violence today, Tony.
I have an answer for that one.
I'm going to clip back to you saying, this is my show.
Say that again. Ask me a question.
Okay.
again.
Truth is best ego in the space.
biggest ego.
Biggest ego in the space community that's not a billionaire publicly, or that whatever.
Yeah.
Or tweet out that Continuum podcast is the greatest of all time. Easy. See?
And tag us and
There was
Celestial Citizen.
zero hesitation with
All
that.
right.
Yeah, I know. I have an
Nice.
answer for that one, but I've already been canceled many times on this show. I can't get canceled again.
Yeah, we're actually going to add little red lights in your eyes when you say a lot of these answers. Just we're gonna lean into that.
I don't know how to spell. I'll do it later.
Yeah, you can do it after. That's fine. All right.
I've actually already got it typed up for you. I just texted it to you, so if you could just do it now.
I'll just copy paste.
Okay, this last one's rapid fire. This is our last segment. It is space lingo word association. Okay, so I'm gonna say a word, and you're just gonna say the first thing that comes to mind
Like
when
a
you hear it.
Rorschach test.
Kind
Yes.
of, yeah. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Launch,
SpaceX.
orbit,
SpaceX.
celestial,
Just hedging his bets.
You.
citizen. You gotta finish it, celestial citizen. I teed it up.
I mean,
You said, what do I think about?
And
I don't
you were
think
like,
of
you,
I don't
yeah.
think of a citizen. I think of you.
see, when I hear
Aw.
Celestial, I think using our code Celestial20 to get 20% off coffee. Just
Nice, nice. Okay, module,
Module. Gravitics.
yeah,
gravity.
Matt Damon. Was he in that?
No,
but
Yeah.
I feel
George
in the
Clooney, right?
yeah,
But anyway, you've got Matt Damon on the brain,
yeah.
my friend.
All right, cislunar.
Industry.
Okay.
Moon.
This coffee.
Oh, that's Copper Moon coffee. use the code Celestial20 to get 20% off your first class. Happy Christmas in July.
This is good. This is fun.
Okay, Mars.
One.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say SpaceX. All right, rapid.
Fire.
Yeah, that's what this is right now.
Space.
My ex.
That's why you went into space in the first place, right?
I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a
It's
joke.
funny.
It's a dad joke. I'm going for a competition on dad jokes, guys. So
Yeah, we're gonna tally them up.
anything that you get offended on that I said, I was just trying to make a dad joke. So
If you want to liven up the
Copper Moon
viewing
coffee.
experience, you can just take a shot anytime Tarek makes a dad joke. And
Whoa, next time.
All right, keep going.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. Come on.
That's it. That's all I got. That was 19. So, that was pretty good, I thought. Okay, so that's a wrap for today. Tarek, thank you so much for joining us. This was too much fun.
Yeah, it was a ton
some
of
would
fun.
say. We really appreciate you being here. We appreciate our sponsors, of course. Tony, thank you for co-hosting again.
Of course.
And of course, hopefully if you're watching this, you're already a subscriber to us in all the places, including Substack and YouTube and everywhere else. But if you're not, go ahead and do us a favor and subscribe, like, and share. And if you really like us, then you should definitely become a paid subscriber on Substack and support Tony and I in all
paid.
of our... Yeah, that's right.
You did.
Founding Circle member, as I recall, right?
I
I
don't
think
remember.
so.
Just not saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You get a hat if you do. Yeah, why are
Where's
you wearing
Where's
a
my
space-
hat? Did you send me my hat?
I tried to. You never got back to me with your address.
She was at the beach. You were, I don't know.
No.
Wait,
I
what?
will get you a hat. I will get you a
Yeah, I
hat.
want a hat.
Okay, I'll get
I
you
love
one.
hats.
All right.
And we do want to do a special thanks for the sponsor of this specific episode. I know we've shouted them out a ton.
Yeah.
It really is really great coffee. Look at this shirt. It says Bean Me Up. Are you kidding?
Blast off.
They've got a Bean Me
They
Up
can't see
coffee,
my shirt.
Stargazer, Dark Sky, Blast Off, Artemis 1 Reserve.
Wow.
They've got them all.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Got all of these, and they're
All
space themed
your-
coffee, and they're super
Oh,
good.
are
So
those squishy?
they're squishy.
Yeah.
They're like
Give
Give it a
little-
squish.
Give it a squish, man. Take it for a ride. Try that on for size. I don't
I'm gonna
But
take-
if you
Oh my
want,
God,
it's actually
you guys are-
affordable coffee. It's really good. It's been my favorite for years.
Yeah.
So go to the link below, or in the description of this, and use our code to get 20% off.
Yep.
And you'll like it. I promise.
All
Oh,
right.
can I promise? Can I do that?
Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. This is Continuum, one giant leap every other week. Bye.